Hey, what is going on? Of course, to all of my alternative adult book snobs, it's me, Amira Blaze, and I am coming with another fine episode of Bookshade. Guys, let me tell you, okay? First off, I have been, this entire week has been nothing but a, reading, book binge for me. I've literally, guys, this week, I have completed 2 audiobooks this week. It's crazy. I've never really read like this, but I think it's just because I am finding such good audiobooks, guys, to listen to. And guys, I am obsessed with Abigail Owen. Her books, guys, she has this series. It's a dragon shifter romance series that's called A Fire's Edge. I forgot to mention in my previous review that these books, guys, of the A Fire Edge, or I'm gonna just call it Fire Edge series, they're standalone books, so you can read them in no particular order. But guys, let me tell you, these books are fabulous. They are not only sexy, that's probably why I'm sweating so much, guys, because these books, just the sensuality in them, the strong female protagonist, the really just sexy, confident, powerful male protagonist, and the dragon shifters. This is probably, guys, one of the best book series that I have read in 2020 for paranormal romance, period. Okay, I like these books, guys, actually better than Black Dagger Brotherhood, which I'm getting into book 2. I'm gonna start that tomorrow, and then coinciding that, I'm gonna be finishing up another book that it's so good too, guys. So I've been really fortunate these last couple of weeks. I have been getting some really good books to read. But I'm talking all this talk. Let's get into today's, I can't even talk, guys, because I'm so excited. But let's get into today's review here, okay? So the review for the audiobook this week for my paranormal romance audiobook wrap up is The Boss. Woo! Oh, guys, let me tell you, every one of these books, the book covers are just getting sexier and sexier to me. Whew. Let me tell y'all, guys. So this book is The Boss, is by Abigail Owen. Guys, I am telling you, these books are steamy. They are tantalizing. Just wonderful ways of using metaphors. I'm drooling, guys, because before I actually started the show today, just a couple minutes ago, I just finished this audiobook. Guys, it took me today 9 hours to complete listening to this audiobook, and it was fucking worth it, okay? So, hey, we have Bum. Hey, what's up? Welcome to the program. So Bum is asking, how is this a paranormal romance book? Well, let's get into it, okay? So The Boss, this is by Abigail Owen. This is part of her 4-book series that's called the Fire's Edge series. And each one of these books, you don't have to read them, guys, in a particular order. Well, let me make sure I'm being accurate here. The first two books, I would say you want to read those in order, but the rest of the books, they're all standalones, so you can read them separately, because each one of the books in this particular series, it has a different character and their story and their romance and all this good stuff. So we got a lot to talk about, okay, with this particular audiobook. So The Boss is book 1 in the Fire Edge series by Abigail Owen, and of course we have Wilma. Hey, welcome to the program. And Wilma's like, what up, hey, welcome, thanks for checking out the show. But getting back into it, guys, because this is good. Okay, this audiobook is motherfucking good. Okay, it's so juicy, guys, that there were moments, guys, where I had to close my eyes and just fantasize, just Fallon on my body. Whoa. It's so good. But The Boss, guys, this is the only one that I would say you have to read the short story first before reading The Boss, or you're gonna be lost, bitch. Okay, so The Boss is book 1 in the Fire's Edge series by Abigail Owen. The short story that I reviewed yesterday is called The Mate, and thank you so much for following. I appreciate it. But you have to read these together, because The Mate is the prequel to The Boss. So if you don't read The Mate, you're gonna be like, what the hell is going on? I mean, it is a standalone book, but I would recommend reading the short story first, which is called The Mate. It took me like 2 hours, guys. And of course we have Jenny. Hey, what's up, bitch? Welcome back to this messy ass program. Okay, so Jenny says, hey, I read the other one you finished the other day. I loved it. I know, right? Okay, so now usually I am not into shapeshifters, guys. For some reason, maybe it's just, it wasn't for me, you know. But a lot of you guys were like, hey, come on, bitch, you need to step outside your comfort zone. Okay, we know you love the vampires. And I'm like, yes, I do. So what I decided to do is, I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna look at, I found this series, guys, at random. It was random. I just saw the cover. Maybe I just saw this fine ass white chocolate daddy, and I'm just like, I gotta find out. I gotta find out the tea on this book. Okay, so The Boss, guys, pretty much, let's get started here. So after you read The Mate, and that lays the foundation for this book, we come to find out, and this is the gag of the century. There are many gags of the century, guys, in this book, and I'm not gonna spoil some of them, because you must listen to this audiobook, guys. Like, it turned me on so much. Like, I'm maybe that's why I'm so energetic, because I'm so hot and bothered. Okay, so Bum says that dude's got a dragon on his damn shoulder. That's because he is a dragon shapeshifter, so that's what he is, hence the dragon. But this cover is so badass, right? But I digress. So if you read The Mate, if you haven't, I'll catch you up a little bit, no spoilers. So we come to find out that Fallon actually has a brother, and that's what The Boss is about the romance of his brother. Because, okay, so his brother's name is Finn, this sexy man right here, yes, squad. And Finn is a lost soul, guys. Okay, at the beginning of this book, we find out that Finn, he's lost because his heart is broken. And he had a past lover that was named Phoebe, okay? And he thought that Phoebe was the one, because the way, see, this is what I love about this particular series, guys, is the way that this whole mate system kind of works is that in this particular universe, what has happened is that these dragon shifters, the women that are female dragon shifters, they can't mate with them at all because it's not possible. Okay, I'm not gonna explain why. You got to read this to find out. So because of this, dragon shifter men have decided that, hey, we need, like, I need to have a mate in my life, a partner in my life, and they decide to go after human women. Okay, but there is a caveat with this particular mating situation. Okay, and the caveat is they can't be with just any human female. They actually have to be with one that is branded. Okay, and branded means that the woman themselves has like a tattoo on their neck that is an emblem of the dragon clan that they belong to. Okay, but I won't give away the other part because it gets even more complicated. There is a consequence, and there's also a catch to this mating situation, and that's if it doesn't work out. It's really fucking terrible. Trust me, if you have read The Mate, you know what I'm talking about. So Finn, he thought that Phoebe was the one. She was branded, there was passion, the chemistry was there, because if someone is your mate, you just know. It's this like orgasmic, it's really funny actually. It's like this orgasmic urge, like you're like, I've got to be with this person. You know, you feel inseparable. So that's what Finn felt with Phoebe, but coming to find out, unfortunately, Phoebe is not Finn's mate. And let's just say something terrible really motherfucking happens, and there is a consequence that you'll find out if you read this book. Because see, I can't give all of it away because it just ruins the story. It really does. So I'm just giving you little bits and pieces here. So let's just say things didn't work out between Finn and Phoebe, and Finn turns into this like Christian Grey kind of character. He's very stoic. He does not really give a fuck about women at all because of him and Phoebe not working out. So let's fast forward a little bit from that. So that's in the past, because The Boss, it takes place, guys, in two different places. Now, the first place this story takes place is in California. Okay, so that's pretty much present day. And then we also have this present day that is in Scotland as well, because what you find out is that if you've read The Mate, this kind of helps you to lay down the foundation for this book, which is also important why you have to read that short story first. Now, these dragon shifters are put into dragon clans, and each dragon clan, they have different emblems, and that also plays a very vital role in the mating process. But on top of that, there are some people that are dragon shifters like Finn and Fallon, and they are called enforcers. And what an enforcer is, it's pretty much a dragon shifter that is meant to protect different parts of the world. So within each region, guys, there is a dragon enforcer. It's really, this world is really cool. It's really interesting. And they are meant to protect their people, okay? And there's a whole bunch of other complexities, guys, that this series has that if I were to explain a little bit more, it would ruin it. So I'll just say it at the surface level, okay? So Finn is an enforcer, that's his job, but with being a dragon, you know, being a dragon shapeshifter, you know, you still have to have a normal job as a, I would say, human presenting, okay? So what Finn does is he is a firefighter. Okay, so that's his like day job, but then at, you know, at night or throughout the day, He does stuff as a dragon enforcer. But the interesting thing is that humans and dragons, they can't be intimate with each other. That's against like dragon law, but they can still interact with each other, which kind of makes this, it adds a very interesting twist to like the story itself. So one day, Finn is called to a fire because, you know, he is a very sexy firefighter, guys. Oh my god, I was like closing my eyes and just imagining how sexy like he is, like, oh my gosh. But I digress. So what ends up happening is one day he has a fire assignment he's got to put out. But see, what they do, guys, is even though they do put out human fires, they also put out dragon fires, because what tends to happen is when you find your mate, or if there are certain signs, okay, that someone could be a potential mate for a dragon shifter, and usually these random combustible fires that can be produced by human women is a cause of this. So he gets called to the fire, right? And he meets Delaney. Okay, so Delaney she's a very nice lady, but guys, let me tell you, she has had drama, honey. Okay, she not only lost her mother, she lost her father and her brother in a very tragic accident. Okay, so she's already broken, okay, from the get-go. Then you got Finn, who is also broken. So you got two broken people, and seeing if they, you know, what's gonna happen here. Are they going to get together? You're just going to have to read it to find out, okay? So going back here, so this fire is caused out of it just came out of the blue. They have no, like, they're like, what's going on? Like, why is this random like fire happening? So to the humans, they think this is just a regular fire, but to the dragons, dragon fire is a very unique type of fire. It's not the same as like a regular fire that would be made like by humans, okay? It has a different temperature and all this. You see, guys, like, this is a paranormal romance book series, but look how complicated this shit is. Okay, so a lot of times when people want to stereotype paranormal romance or just romance in general, it's not only about like the let's have sex part, you know, which is, you know, that's fun, but I digress. So he gets there, and like, this Delaney is just like, what the fuck is going on? Because see, Delaney's job, she's human, okay? She actually works as a waitress, and like she does consulting at a winery, okay? So this fire just happens out of the blue, and she has no idea, you know, why it's happening, you know, what caused this. And of course, Finn and Delaney, you know, their paths collide, and at first Delaney does not trust Finn at all. Like, she's kind of like, okay, this guy's really hot, like, all right, I mean, can I trust him? Like, and guys, let me tell you, stuff moves really fast in this book. They go from like, she's like, I don't know if I can trust you, and then they have sex. Like, they start smashing right away. But in Finn's mind, because this is how the book is read, guys, it's read from three main perspectives. You have Finn's perspective, you have Delaney's perspective, and then in the middle, you get a third person. And let's say this person has bad intentions for the protagonist, okay? And this bad person also has a very interesting connection to Delaney, which I cannot explain because that would ruin the book too. I'm sorry, guys. There's a lot of spoilers. So I'm just kind of giving surface level, okay? So not only are you dealing with Finn's story, Delaney's story, and then this third, like, bad person, then you also have to deal with, guys, and this is on Finn's part, you have this this group of the Dragon Clan that is also known as the Council, okay? They're also known as the Mating Council, and these are the people that are responsible to make sure that the mating process is done by dragon law. But see, in Finn's case and in Delaney's case, let's just say Delaney is not your typical mate. She's very unique because she's not inhibiting, guys, any of the signs of what a dragon mate would represent. But for some reason, Finn is really attracted to her. And guys, it's ridiculous how attracted he is. So attracted to her, guys, that it's like every time he sees Delaney, he's like always, he has a hard on all the time. Like, it's insane. Like, I have never read a book, guys, where a man has had a hard on for like half of the book. It's quite laughable. There were moments where I was listening to this audiobook and I was cracking up. It was ridiculous. So, will Finn and Delaney get together? And who is this other force that is trying to prevent them from getting together? You just gonna have to read and find that out. So, overall, guys, what did I think about this book? Okay, first off, guys, I'm telling you, if you read the book, is awesome, but the audiobook is so sexy, guys, that there were moments where I literally had to pause it and like calm myself down. Like, I had to fan myself. I was like, because guys, the guy who does the voice of Fallon, he also comes back and reprises his narration for Finn. His voice, like, his voice is so sexy that, like I said, there were moments, guys, where my ears were sweating. Okay, there was that much sexiness coming through my headphones. Like, it was wonderful. Okay, and also the same lady that reprised her narration in The Mate also comes back. So it kind of, it helps to it helps to keep that continuity. But let me make sure I get the narrators' names here so you guys know who they are. Okay, so it's Brian Paulino and Melissa Moran. Okay, so oh my gosh, guys, Brian's voice is everything, guys. Like there are, okay, so I'll give a little bit away, just a little bit. Okay, so one of my favorite scenes in this book is there's a moment where Delaney and Finn are together, and for some reason, guys, dragons, they have what's called telepathy, where they can like read each other's minds and stuff like that. So there's like a moment where all of the guys, because there's a couple of guys that you meet. Now, doesn't this sound similar to like Black Dagger Brotherhood, but with like dragons? It's so sweet, guys. Like, it's really, really good. And Jenny says you were melting the headphones. Yes, I was, honey. Oh my gosh. Okay. And Jenny also says it depends on the author and how they write the story. Well, I mean, here's the thing though. This is the issue that I have with a lot of these like shifter romances, is a lot of them are cheesy. Like, there's no world building, and it's just like it goes right to the sex. Like, see, this is the reason why a lot of people that are not avid readers of romance tend to generalize romance, is because of some of these like shifter romances or even historical romances where it just goes right to the sex and there's no like build up. Now in this book, it's interesting because you get some slow burn and then you get right to the sex and then you get another slow burn. But it was so, and I'll give I like to call this a prudish warning. If you are a prudish person, you may not want to read this book series. Okay, A Fire's Edge, guys, it's got a lot of sex in it, and I'm talking deep descriptive deep descriptive sex, okay, like orgasmic sex, okay. Like, let me get back to the other part, yeah, what I was thinking of. Okay, so they're just like hanging out because Finn, for some reason, I don't know why, but like Delaney's just had really bad luck, and she's constantly dealing with so much danger in her life. So Finn sees that and he's like, hey, you should live with me and my dudes that are all really hot dragon shifters. And she's just like, the fuck? Like, okay, you know? So she kind of just says, okay. He kind of like keeps pushing at her, and then he's like, okay, fine, whatever. So there are a couple other dragon shifters, guys, that I love in this series. There's a couple of them, but my main favorite ones is, I love Aiden. Okay, so Aiden, he is like so serious, but when it comes to the banter, I love the banter between him and Finn. It's like hilarious. Then there's Levi, who's like my other favorite besides Finn. He's like this sexy, like dragon shape shifter, like Viking. Delaney describes him as like the golden Viking, and I like guys that look like Vikings, so I'm like, oh my gosh, okay. I was like living my fantasy through like Levi for sure. Also there's Titus, Drake, and then there are two twins, who is Riven and Keegan, who are also really hilarious, because let's just say they live a very polyamorous lifestyle. I'll just put it that way. Hence why I said, if you are a prude, this is a prude warning. You may not like these books because they be talking some very descriptive sex scenes, and if you're not into that, this book series is not gonna be for you at all. It's just like with Black Dagger Brotherhood, where I'm just like, wow, Raph just really goes in, like, you know, like he does not hold back on the sex appeal, you know. And Finn is the same way, you know. He's been burned because of his past, but for some reason, you know, Delaney just really opens up his heart in a way that he's always hard all the time. The reason why I'm laughing, guys, is because when you listen to the audiobook, you'll understand what I mean. Because that's literally like half of the book. Like, he's just thinking about her and like wanting to do all of these like naughty things to her like all the time. And it's quite laughable, I have to say. But getting back into it, so they're all like hearing, you know, Finn's thoughts and like her thoughts and how like her orgasmic levels are and everything. And it's so funny, guys, because it turns the Delaney on, and she's surprised herself. She's just like, I just never thought I would be into thinking about other men like watching me being sexy. And like, he literally like narrates, okay, so so the way that Brian, guys, narrates this scene, I had to get a fan and cool myself down. It was so sexy. Just the way that he makes Finn sound, I'm like, I need a man like this, okay? Like, just the way that he like talks to her, and he's like, does that feel good? And like, you know, do you like it when all these guys are like, you know, watching you, like, and me being on top of you? And just, I'm like, woo! This was my first time, guys, really reading a book that was this descriptive. And I know that this is just like level 1, but oh my gosh, that scene was one of my favorites. It was so hot. I had steam coming out of my headphones, like, good God. It was so, yeah, it was really, really good. So guys, like I said, if you are looking for, and the best way I can describe this Fire's Edge series, literally, guys, it's like a cross between 50 Shades of Grey in there, because Finn does have a lot of similarities to Christian Grey and like his attitude and stuff, but he's a lot nicer than Christian. Like Christian is more like, Christian would be like, I don't give a fuck how you feel, you know, but Finn, like he's very sweet, but he's still rough around the edges. And usually I would not find that sexy, but man, the way that Abigail Owen like writes this shit, it's so sexy, guys. I'm just like, yes, you know. So yeah, it's a very interesting cross between like 50 Shades of Grey, Black Dagger Brotherhood with The Witcher in there. So if you're looking, guys, for a book series that combines all three of those together, you will definitely like A Fire's Edge. You will like this first book, The Boss. And okay, let me explain though why they call him the boss. Okay, so the reason why they call him the boss is because he is the leader of this firefighter group, and he's also the leader of the North American chapter of their like dragon clan. That's the best way I can explain it. So like Delaney, this was the first time like they got like intimate like that, and all of a sudden this turns into like a 50 Shades of Grey book, and it was like a plot twist. I was like, whoa, I was like, what is going on? But it was hot though. So she's like, she saw a boss written on his helmet, so that's why this book is called The Boss. And there is a very sexy scene that does involve this word, but I don't want to give it away, because you guys better go check out this audiobook. You can also get a physical copy of it too. It's very inexpensive. But yeah, guys, if you want like that Black Dagger Brotherhood but with shapeshifters up in there, and you like The Witcher with a little bit of the world building going on, you know, and if you like 50 Shades of Grey with some naughty ass sex scenes in this book, you know, I'm getting hot, guys, just thinking about it. Okay, you will like The Boss by Abigail Owen. I'm going to read hopefully the next 2 books. Those are the final 2 books in this series. So I'll have to read those probably next month, because I got to get back on reading Black Dagger Brotherhood. So I'm going to be reading book 2, which is a very big ass book. It's like 400 pages. But guys, happy to report, I was on a wait list, guys. Okay, can we talk? Okay, first off, people have been saying like, oh, if you want to get books, you can go to your library, and oh, it should be really easy. Guys, not anymore. Because of this pandemic, literally, guys, you know it's bad is when there is a wait list for audiobooks. And guys, I have been on a wait list to listen to the second book for Black Dagger Brotherhood for like a whole month, and then finally I was able to check my I checked my status, and it said that I could borrow it. So I have it for like 7 days, so that should not be a problem. I'm going to start reading it tomorrow. But then what I'm going to do is coming up on Friday, there will be a bonus episode of the show, guys. I'm actually gonna do my first ever readathon reading sprint. So that's the new name of it. It's not gonna be a reading challenge anymore. It's gonna be a reading sprint, because that's like the new trend that I'm seeing in the booktube community. Is a lot of people are doing these reading sprints, and I have a really nice like setup for it. So I know you guys will like that, you know, how it looks and all that. So that should be coming up on Friday. But I'm gonna get started reading it and listening to it on the audiobook and everything. But I was really lucky, guys, that I could even get that audiobook. Okay, there were like a whole bunch of people ahead of me, so I was really lucky. But oh my gosh, guys, yes, this book, getting back to it, The Boss by Abigail Owen. This is book 1 in the Fire's Edge series. I give it the rating of masterpiece. Guys, this book is not only sexy, it will make you fantasize all day, all night. Okay, I felt like my makeup was melting. You will laugh. There will be moments where you will want to cry. There'll be moments where you're just like, excuse me, I need a moment to myself. I can't believe I said that, but you know, that's what we do on this show. We keep it real. But yeah, this is a very sexy book. And just like his brother Fallon, he's also like, I think he's like he's also British as well. So that just ups the ante on the sex appeal for me, because I like men with like an accent. Yes, boy. Okay. So yeah, definitely guys, this is a masterpiece. You better go either buy the book physically, which you can get on Amazon, and you can also buy this book through Audible on Amazon as well. Fucking fabulous. That's all I'm gonna say. Well, I've said a lot, okay? So alright guys, thanks so much for watching this episode of Book Shade. Of course, you can keep in touch with me the following ways. Of course, I am on Twitter as well as Instagram, which is at bookshade1. Oh yeah. Alright guys, thanks so much for watching, and you know, like I always say, remember to embrace the darkness of reading. I'll see you guys on Friday. Take care, guys.